If you want to support the channel, go check out my Patreon. There's rewards like end of video shoutouts and even featuring in a video. More rewards will be added and I'd love to hear from you guys to know what I should add. For more information, go to patreon.com/Maqwell. Time for me to once again milk this content dry again. Here's another list of teams to use in FIFA 21 career mode. Spezia.
Tired of suffering.
I'm growing depressed.
I'm tired of suffering.
I'm growing very
Life is pain. I wake up every morning, I'm in pain. I go to work in pain. You know how many times I wanted to just give up?
After finishing third in Serie B, Spezia went on to win promotion through the most AIDS version of a promotion playoff system to ever exist, the Serie B playoffs. This is the first time Spezia have been promoted to this area. Spezia technically have a Scudetto for 1943-44 after it was rewarded to them officially by the Italian Football Federation in 2002. But why did it take so long to be rewarded? If you know anything about football during World War II, it was pretty interesting to say the least. In order to avoid long and dangerous trips, there was instead a tournament that invited all active Serie A, B, and C clubs. The clubs split into groups based on their region. At the end of it all, the 42nd Fire Brigade of La Spezia won the Federal Cup. Not the Scudetto though. But thanks to pressure from journalists and even the mayor of La Spezia, the Italian Football Federation allows Spezia to wear a tri-colored badge similar to that of the Scudetto every year now. Anyways, back to the present. Something you rarely see in a newly promoted Serie A club is a relatively young squad. Midfielder Giulio Maggiore looks like a really good prospect at just 21 years old after scoring a goal and assisting 6 times last season. Defender Elio Capradossi will definitely have an upgrade in rating and potential after registering 69 interceptions, the most in the Serie B last season. Can you win Spezia another Scudetto? Bournemouth. Although they defeated Everton on the last day, Aston Villa's draw versus West Ham would be enough to keep them out of the relegation zone. Thus came the end of a memorable 5-year stint in the Premier League for Bournemouth. The rise of Bournemouth, in my opinion, is still one of the most inspirational recent time. Administration in 2008 resulted in a 17-point deduction for the Cherries in League 2. They looked down and out even before the season started. But 31-year-old Eddie Howe thought otherwise and led the fairy tale Great Escape. 6 years later, Bournemouth won 3-0 at Charlton to win their first ever promotion to the Premier League. Something about Bournemouth makes me personally cherish their time in the top flight. Who can ever forget the crazy 3-3 draw versus Everton, the 4-3 comeback versus Liverpool, the wins against Chelsea and United in their first season, or the entire 2018-19 season when Ryan Fraser and Callum Wilson tore the league apart. Eddie Howe recently left the club, so now it's your turn to take over Bournemouth. Firstly, sell Solanke, then get back to the Premier League. The rest of the story is yours to write. Fiorentina. It has truly been a roller coaster ride for La Viola. During the 90s, Fiorentina had arguably their golden generation with the likes of Rui Costa and Gabriel Batistuta. They never won a Scudetto but came close when they finished third in the 1998-99 season. Most of their successes came from winning 2 Coppa Italias and 1 Supercoppa. Things were so bright for Fiorentina. In 2001, the club's terrible financial state was revealed. Debts of $50 million made it extremely difficult to pay off player and staff wages. The debt was so bad that when Fiorentina relegated, they couldn't even afford registration to Serie B. The club ceased to exist. Luckily, the club was re-established, and after just 2 years, Fiorentina was back in the Serie A. Fast forward to 2012, Fiorentina didn't finish lower than 5th for 4 seasons in a row. But lately, Fiorentina has been declining again. 8th in the next 2 seasons, 16th, and recently a 10th place finish. It's time you solidify the momentum for Fiorentina to go farther than they have ever. Can you win them a Scudetto for the first time in 51 years? Can you win them all big years? Sporting Lisbon. It has been 18 years since Sporting won the Primeira Liga. This is the club that developed Luis Figo and Cristiano Ronaldo, if you forgot, by the way. This can be blamed on poor management of the club, which took a toll on the results on the pitch. It hasn't all been terrible for Sporting though. Even with the league title drought, they've won 4 Portuguese Cups since 2007, but the fans want more, and it's now time for you to give them what they have been waiting for years. There's a ton of talent on this team, including the likes of Luis Maximiano, Wendell, and Rafael Camacho. Use the youth academy to develop even more talents and become the Portuguese powerhouse. Real Sociedad. Speaking of clubs with droughts, Real Sociedad have not won a piece of silverware in 33 years. La Real could change that if they beat their rivals Athletic Bilbao in the Copa del Rey final, but due to the clubs have agreed to not play the final until fans are allowed in attendance. Sociedad has a lot of fantastic talent to work with. Alexander Isaac, at just 19 years old, scored 9 goals in his first season. 23-year-old Mikel Merino was a rock in the midfield. And don't forget about Mikel Oyarzabal. At just 23 years old, he scored 10 goals and assisted 11 times in La Liga last season. Oh yeah, forgot to mention, David Silva is now in San Sebastian after Sociedad absolutely cucked Lazio. Not to mention, Sociedad's fan base in Spain is huge. The Centro de Investigaciones Sociológicas found out of 2,473 adults interviewed in 49 provinces, 1.3% of the Spanish population have more feelings for La Real than any other club. 1.5 actually have more feelings for Sociedad over any other club besides their favorite. So, can you win Sociedad their first La Liga title since 1982? Le Havre, famous for developing the likes of Dimitri Payet, Riyad Mahrez, and Paul Pogba. Their most recent export was Pape Gueye to Marseille on a free. The club has not been in the top flight of French football since 2009 and has not won a piece of silverware since 1959 when they won the Coupe de France. Time has not been kind to Le Havre, being the oldest known French club in the world. For this save, focus on the youth academy to develop young talents. You can choose whether to keep the prospects for a long time or sell them in order to buy bigger and brighter talents. Le Havre counts on you to win their first ever Liga title. Schalke. In 2001, Schalke came so close to winning the Bundesliga title until an injury time goal from Bayern snatched it away from them. 10 years later, after reaching the semi-finals of the Champions League, Schalke were thrashed by Manchester United in both legs. One of the most popular clubs in Germany, Schalke at the moment have come off 2 abysmal seasons after finishing runners-up in 2018. Just last season, Schalke set a new club record in league matches without a win with 16. The fall of Schalke looks more and more inevitable than ever before. This season, Schalke has brought up some young talents from the U19 and B teams, so look out for prospects to use like 19-year-old midfielder Chan Bozdagan, 18-year-old defender Malik Diaw, and 21-year-old midfielder Nick Taitek. On top of that is the bulk of talent they already have, like Amin Harit and Ozan Kabak. Can you win the Bundesliga with Schalke? Lyon. Who would have thought the 7th place team in Liga would go on an incredible run to the semi-finals of the Champions League, defeating the likes of Juventus and Manchester? We have only one way of scoring City. Unfortunately, since they didn't win the Champions League, they will not be participating in European football since they finished 7th. This will be the first time since 1997 that Lyon have not qualified for anything. Lyon did actually try to appeal this because Liga had ended the season early because of but it wasn't successful. Your job is to rebound back. Lyon used to be a powerhouse in France. Make it happen again. So that's another list of teams to use in FIFA 21 career mode. If you want to see me do another list, but with only lower division clubs, get this video to 100 likes. Be sure to follow my Twitter, my Twitch, and my Instagram. Alright, bye.